Have you ever seen the footage or the assassination of John F. Kennedy? This is known as the magic bullet theory. It was the first ever conspiracy theory, and today it just turns out that it was true. And for you guys that don't know, the CIA literally developed the term conspiracy to specifically cover up this event. Now, if you somehow believe that JFK was killed by one man and one bullet, you are just incredibly misled and manipulated very easily. This is how it went down. The 35th president, JFK, was going down the streets of Dallas, Texas. Kennedy was directly shot at 12:30 p.m. in his motorcade past the Texas School Book Depository. Now, the shooter ended up being Lee Harvey Oswald, and he was sitting on the 6th floor and allegedly fired 3 different shots from that floor. Of course, ultimately ending JFK's life. Now, this video footage wasn't released until 1975, or 12 years after the shooting of JFK himself, and you can see right here. I can't play the next 2 seconds of this video for obvious reasons. You can find this on YouTube, but check out why he is struggling right here. For the first time in 60 years, for whatever reason, the former Secret Service agent finally decided to speak out about the event. Paul Landis. Now, of course, the presidential candidate, R.F. Kennedy, spoke about this on his Twitter today, being like, this is a huge advancement because the magic bullet theory is now dead. The government has been directly caught lying to our faces, and yet this isn't even being covered by our major news stations yet, even though this happened about 24 hours ago. I'm talking about Fox News, CNN, etc., and you'd wonder why. But essentially what happened is that the CIA classified that the investigations of the event resulted from one bullet, claiming a bullet went through his back, ricocheted through his ribs, and came out JFK's throat, which was the second shot in the video that you can watch, and then shoots into the governor, the person in the top left seat, and actually, I think, ricochets through him like 2 or 3 times, resulting in 7 different exits and entrances and wounds. Hey, I found it. Check this out. It is so stupid. The theory says that a 3 centimeter long, 1.2 inch copper jacket lead core bullet fired from the 6th floor of the Texas school from the shooter, and ultimately passed through President Kennedy's neck into Governor Connolly's chest, went through his right wrist, and embedded itself in Connolly's left thigh. If so, this bullet traversed a back brace, 15 layers of clothing, 7 layers of skin, and approximately 15 inches of muscle tissue, and pulverized 4 inches of Connolly's rib and shattered his radius bone. And for 60 years, the government has just said that our president of the United States was assassinated by this lone actor, who of course was conveniently killed 2 days after he was shot by Jack Ruby when he was being transported. So there was no room for interrogation. Now, the CIA has given multiple reports on short histories of what happened in the mid-1960s to 1963. But what it really breaks down to is JFK and the CIA didn't agree on a lot of things at all. And JFK would not give the go-ahead on a lot of the things that the CIA was trying to do with taking down Fidel Castro from Cuba, which was ultimately during the Missile Cuban crisis. And this resulted in the Bay of Pigs. And through like a heaps of evidence that shows that JFK did not want the Bay of Pigs invasion to actually ever happen. But after rejecting the CIA multiple times and even the chief of staff, President Kennedy did not want these operations to take effect with the anti-communist Cuban project the US and the CIA were trying to pursue, which ultimately led to the CIA going behind Kennedy's back and almost causing World War III, because all they gave a shit about was the military-industrial complex and wanted, for whatever reason, to cause a massive war. Actually, there is no whatever reason. They wanted to make heaps of money off of this. But what matters today is that the very first conspiracy to ever exist was just debunked. It ended up being completely true. And again, if you haven't seen the assassination video, it's very clear that JFK is actually shot twice into this, once right now in the neck, and then probably shortly in just a second, gotta shut it off. But the United States and the CIA literally covered up the assassination of a US president. And while this is for whatever reason not breaking the internet right now, RFK, again, the presidential candidate, I really recommend you check him out. Also just shared an article today of the CIA pretty much front preparing color revolution in Indonesia. Now, if you're interested in seeing an in-depth video on this, be sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Have you ever seen...
CIA definitely made that magic bullet theory up. Complete rubbish.
This is gonna make you feel crazy. Doja Cat might have had something to do with what happened to him. After Matthew's tragic passing, Doja Cat deleted all of her videos except for this one. So obviously the comments on that video are crazy. People are like, what? Did you have something to do with this? She now deletes the video. There's nothing up now. Take a closer look at this logo and you'll see that something is off. Now the word friends is 7 letters, and in between each letter is a dot that represents each of the friends.
Yay!
You can see how it correlates to each one here. The dot in between the D and the E is gone. Why is one of them missing?
Oh, yeah?
This is just conspiracy theory. I like talking about conspiracy theories. This is not a disrespectful thing. And this was a promotion for her new music video called Demons. And we all know how she's been recently, and all of the other conspiracy theories. Now I get that Friends is a popular TV show, but like the timing's really weird. You can't deny that. Everything is intentional. How would this have been an error? Think about the kind of team she has. How would they forget the first dot? But the promotional photo came out exactly 2 months before what happened to him. And you remember he did all these weird Instagram posts right before he passed away. I made a post about that if you don't know what I'm talking about. Like, all of this weird stuff makes you wonder if he saw it coming. If you like my content, follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more. It really helps when you interact. This is gonna make you feel crazy.
And I could feel the baby kitty jumping on my hand.
I can't wait till the kitties get here.
Yeah, but I'll probably have to wait 2 or 3 weeks after she gave birth to them.
Yeah.
Because she could eat them.
I know. But she probably not.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. Yeah.
If you arrive
Oh, Rishi Sunak.
here illegally, you will not be able to claim asylum here. You will not be able to access the modern slavery system, and you will not be able to make spurious human rights claims. That is the right thing to do. If you arrive here illegally...
Where's Morpheus, everybody? Oh my God, I can't watch this. Ugh. Freak show.
You are being lied.
Animals have babies. They have the same species.
What?
When animals have babies, they have the same species. And they look like the same as the adult.
Yeah.
So the baby kids are going to look exactly like Elsa.
Yeah. I can't wait. Why does it do this?
Look at the tummy.
Oh, and I'm logged in and I'm everything. I'm everything.
For whoever is in here and like records lives and shit. Oh, you know what? Actually, it doesn't matter. I can just save this, hopefully. I just 4 times I just recorded like a whole video that like of me like trying to just like explain what's going on and like kind of clear up everything. I hate to do this live because I can't, like, I've tried every.
Elsa's running away from you because she wants to protect you.
Yeah, don't pick her up while she's having kitties.
Yeah, I'm not even picked her up once today. But Dad, what day did she start having babies? Like, what day did the babies get in her belly?
I don't know, but they're only pregnant for about 9 weeks.
9 weeks.
Why did
Probably need to take the beast then.
Yeah, but we don't know when the kitties got there. So it could be any time, really.
NASA stop exploring the ocean? NASA started exploring
Probably because they never started.
the deep
Or they should.
sea in 1958, but stopped in 1978. After that, they started working on getting us off the planet. They even detonate a massive explosion in the ocean in 2021. What did they discover down there? What are they so afraid of? Why do...
Us.
Think
Look at her eyes,
that he's guilty?
No,
So you don't think he did it?
I don't think he did it.
And you said in all the time that you've known him that you never saw any erratic behavior. You have no evidence of any erratic behavior. You have nothing that would indicate that he would be capable of doing something like this, would have any motivation to do something like this.
Exactly.
You do know, think.
These are the wildest what-if theories I've ever heard. The last one will turn your brain upside down. What if when we die, the light at the end of the tunnel is a light to a hospital room? We are born, and the reason we come crying out is because we remember we died and lost everything in our past life. What if we used to be able to make wishes, but someone...
I hope not. I don't want to come back here again.
Wished we could. I said we find them and junk them. What if the world actually ended in 2012 as many people thought, and everything since that year has been a dream? Well, wake me up. I'm tired of bills. What if Mr. Krebs is Pearl's sugar daddy, which is why she's always calling him daddy and asking him for money? That makes a lot of sense. What if our entire universe is just in a tiny glass jar, placed neatly on a shelf in an alien child's room as science project? Or the Big Bang in our universe can just be one big fart that some creature just let out and time is different in their world. But right now, it seems like it's been billions of years, but a narrow world that's been like 2 seconds. What if you're the only human on Earth and the rest of the population you see is just your imagination playing tricks on you?
I think they were very, very cute.
Okay, it might be them small.
Yeah.
It might be this small.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
They tell us the truth in plain sight.
Smile I've ever seen out of Mark Zuckerberg.
It's stunning to monitor the media's lack of interest in the whole Maui story. I've been in this business for 30 years. I'm stunned, but I'm not surprised. The incident seems to be the story here, right? But the true story, the media knows it is not allowed to tell. Is it a coincidence that the Maui police chief is the same man who was in charge in Las Vegas during that massacre that killed 58 people? Is it a coincidence that the Maui property, owned by million and billionaires, it wasn't touched by the flames while homes of the locals all burned?
What she fails to also mention is how the media hasn't even once interviewed a grieving parent. Not a single parent looking for their children. Not a single interview with a child. Not a single interview with the schools.
Was it a coincidence that the largest system of outdoor emergency sirens in the world never made a sound as the fire devoured Lahaina?
Because they just don't care.
Was it a coincidence that at the same time, very same time, all the water was turned off? Was it a coincidence that police were ordered to block off streets and to funnel all the cars trying to escape? Think about this coincidence. That governor also signed an emergency proclamation on July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, about housing of all things. Is it a coincidence that the government put up a black fence around Lahaina, or that the FAA grounded all drones from flying over the affected areas? Is it a coincidence that since at least 2011 there have been plans to make Maui the first smart city run by 100% renewable energy? And that it must be a coincidence then that the locals whose homes did not burn are now being evicted from their property. And of course, a total coincidence that all the fact checkers who are checking these facts, who say everything I just told you is just a coincidence, are also owned and run by BlackRock.
You're not even ready to imagine the craziness we're in right now. Antarctica is the most mysterious continent in the world. A new theory is so crazy that it could completely change your perception of the Earth. According to this theory, Antarctica is not just a massive ice continent, but rather an enormous ice wall that surrounds all the continents. In 1992, a new world map was created, the Gleason map, which shows Antarctica encircling all our continents. This theory goes even further. Some believe that if we manage to cross this wall, we will encounter numerous other continents deliberately hidden from us by governments.
Conspiracy theory that I've heard a lot is that when the astronauts were walking on the moon, you can see that they kick up a lot of dust. So people say, well, if there's no air on the moon, how is the dust flying around?
Remind me to dust my camera too, will you? Don't forget to dust your camera. We'll keep track of that for you.
Conspiracy theory that I've heard a lot is that when the
Oh, not them boots. Oh my god.
Does anyone notice the woman in the back? Does anyone know?
No.
Did Prince really just say this?
When I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time, and so oh, that's cool. A jet just went over, and then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And the next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing, and you didn't know why.
Now, come on, man. This is just from heavy air traffic. You know, there has to be some sort of airport nearby. These streaks in the sky are caused by the water vapor in the airplane's engine, and the low temperature causes ice crystals. It's not like they could just turn it off. Okay, I don't know what that was about, but this is testing the weight limit.
Is that a chemtrailer?
Of the planes, right, for passengers. And no, those aren't hoses hooking up to anything. Yeah, they're just testing the planes, guys. Now that's how they do their little riding in the sky, you know what I'm saying? It's just a crazy conspiracy.
Yeah, the chemtrailer photo is just mid-journey or some shit.
You have a connection.
Oh, not again. I'm logged in. I'm everything.
I've read every fucking theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000 stones in it. Some of them they weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things point, a pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like, if you fucked up like a quarter inch there, a half inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west. And they're not really sure how old it is. They think they date it to 2,500 BC, but that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time. You're dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportion.
People always have this conspiracy favorites, and people be saying
Nice,
like, you're in the Illuminati. Look,
you saw your videos, right?
You
have videos online, like Cardi B.
YouTube, and it's like, bro, do you know that if I don't work, I could go broke? Do you know if if I do or say the wrong thing out of my mouth,
you're out of here.
I'm out of here.
They said this was the first camera ever. But what took the picture then if this is the first? They said this is the first man to step on the moon. But didn't someone have to step on the moon to put the camera down to get it in place to take this picture? So this nuke destroyed the house, but the camera stayed still, didn't even flinch. Don't believe everything you hear and see.
BS.
It is impossible to build the pyramids. Even with the technology we have now, we would struggle to build them. So how did they do it thousands of years ago? Well, it's very likely that the entire world experienced a cataclysmic disaster that knocked us back into the Stone Age. And those people who were around before us were more advanced than we are today. Think about it. The materials they used for these pyramids come from the mountains, hundreds of miles away. The Great Pyramid is almost aligned perfectly to true north, south, east, and west. The coordinates for the Pyramid of Giza matches exactly to the speed of light. But that's just a coincidence, right?
Husband casts a voodoo spell on wife, turning her into half cow, half human after she cheats on him.
Mama.
Husband casts a voodoo spell on...
For fear that you'll lose yourself in their expectations of you.
Well, I've felt that way for a long time. And then I see my big face on that movie screen with no makeup on and my natural hair color, and I'm like, oh, I just gave it away. I mean, you know, I have always liked shapeshift.
Right. This is crazy. Do you ever wonder why humans grow beards? We have the ability to grow beards, right? Yeah. And some people, they don't grow beard or facial hair at all. Asians, yeah, some Asians. And women specifically, they don't really grow facial hair, right? Okay. There's actually a scientific purpose for facial hair and beards in general. It's for hand-to-hand combat. Long time ago, all of the warriors would grow beards. So they did a scientific study. They simulated a bald face, a face with a little bit of stubble, and a face with a full-fledged beard. And they tested it, putting pressure the same amount that a punch could. They found out that the bald face, every single time they simulated the punch, it would break the jaw. When using an unshaven face with a full beard, it only broke 45% of the time. So the theory is, if you can grow a beard, you probably have an ancestry of warriors or fighters. Look at women. Women don't need to fight because historically, it was usually the men that went into combat. If you don't grow facial hair, it might tell you a little bit about your ancestry.
Women are tougher than men these days.
Lil Nas X is one of the most satanic celebrities out there, and he doesn't even try to hide it. In this music video, it literally starts off as him getting seduced in the Garden of Eden, then him falling down from a pole all the way from heaven to hell, just to come down, see Satan, and then twerk on his lap. I don't care what you believe in, but this is sick. He also released 666 pairs of Satan shoes that apparently had blood in them. Now listen to what he says in this video.
We usually go to meetings on Wednesday and draw cloaks. Draw like a star and the circle on the ground. We have like these cups of blood, drink it pretty much, and we kind of like plan like world domination, like to make everyone gay and then like decrease the world population.
Watch carefully. Watch.
No.
Yeah, she's crying. She's inside by herself.
Okay, honey, how old is your child?
She's 2. She's only 2.
Gosh.
I'm coming, baby. Okay? I'm coming.
Well.
You're telling me no, but
I'll cut in a minute.
Now, here's a scary theory. What if the pyramids are more taller than we actually see?
You probably lead straight to hell.
Alright guys, another creepy clip regarding the Illuminati being mentioned with Andrew Garfield. Take a look.
That's right, finally viewers all across the country will get the answer to their most burning question. Are the Illuminati real? And if so, why haven't I been invited? Garfield, where are you? I know you know. I know you know.
The Illuminati doesn't control the world because nobody's that organized.
But did you ever see that Bohemian Grove thing? That is absolutely 100% real. No, it's not. So what, Brian? It's people dressing up like wizards, burning an effigy in front of an owl god. It's people at the highest levels of...
Come on, Lucy Cardi reacts.
Don't, because I'll smell stuff on there you don't want. Can't cook me when I used to like people being here and I can't even breathe. Nations on there.
There's 100 trillion subscribers watching this.
Like I've got nothing, no other time, but like all these
Banks. It's all these different famous people. There's a bunch of crazy, really rich, influential people that went to that Bohemian Grove and dressed up like druids and they chanted things. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
You are.
Yes, you haven't seen it. He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it. I'm sorry.
Was Joe not there?
He hasn't seen it.
Set the cross free. Did you burn me once again?
They're chanting crazy shit and they're putting hoods on and they're burning an effigy that's supposed to be a sacrificial person, but it's straw in a bundle. They talk about the owl god
Yeah, I bet it is.
Moloch. Okay, these are multi-millionaires. The Illuminati.
Rihanna made a horrible mistake at her halftime show by reinforcing the crazy conspiracy theory that the Super Bowl is actually a live satanic ritual hosted by the elites to show off their power and influence to the peasants watching. And that every year the performer must flash the crowd a demonic or evil symbol of the Illuminati if they want to perform. Beyonce put up the same exact symbol to the crowd at her Super Bowl halftime show and was all over the news the next day for it.
Conspiracy theorists believe that Beyonce signaled that she's part of a secret society bent on world domination.
Some claim that's just the Rock Nation symbol, but why would other celebrities who aren't affiliated with Rock Nation at all flash it? Stop making excuses for them! At Justin Timberlake's 2018 show, he had a giant silhouette of Satan laughing at the crowd with his tail. They played it off like a guy playing the guitar. At Madonna's 2012 show, she was moving her body to show symbolism and wearing the Illuminati owl crown on her head. This was insane. J-Lo's costume was showing this evil satanic goat, and she was showing the horns with her head too. Look at her costume though. You can't tell me those are 2 eyes and a nose and then antlers going up. The Weeknd's dancers are literally wearing such similar outfits to the exact same ones they would do in a satanic ritual. You can't tell me that whole thing didn't look demonic as hell. Literally. Before I show you the craziest part, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of these celebrities and be in the know and request who you want to see next. Have you ever wondered why the Super Bowl is even called the Super Bowl? Because if you just move over the B, it actually spells superb owl, which is the... Seriously though, the same exact demonic owl that Madonna was wearing on her head and one of the main species of animals that symbolizes satanic worship. Rihanna made a...
I might go and watch the Superb Owl.
There's also a conspiracy theory about a movie that came out recently too. The Sound of Freedom. That whole thing is trying to give awareness about child right? There's theories. Everyone who's gone into movies to watch it, the movie theaters have teamed
They
up.
stopped it.
Yeah, trying not to sell tickets, trying not for people to watch it.
Yeah.
I've seen one where it's like, oh, the person tries to buy tickets. They said it's fully sold out. Goes in the movie theater, nobody there.
There's no one in here. And then it said that they were sold out.
Another one, the guy comes in, he's like, oh, we have to download the movie. It's gonna take an hour. We can give you your movie back. Like, you guys can walk out. Fam,
They're like
that
trying
never
to.
happens.
They're trying to stop them from watching it.
Exactly. And the 2 main ones they have been doing, turn off the AC so it's hot as hell in there.
Oh, word.
And then
Just to let you guys know again, it is gonna get hot. It is gonna be like a movie.
So why is it only this one though, not all the other ones?
the movies usually
Yeah,
dim
yeah.
the lights when it goes on. The lights stay on the whole time, and people complain.
So they don't want to stay there and watch the whole thing. There's a deeper conspiracy onto this.
Nobody wants to watch your freak show.
Just recently, Michael Jackson's son had a party. People are saying Michael Jackson was actually there in disguise, bro. No, look at this. But it's so obvious. This shit is obvious. Look. I'm gonna show you the video. So you can see here. See, he has an umbrella, always wearing sunglasses, always covering his skin. Now his son and I think his manager, they had a big like yacht party.
Okay.
Now there's somebody on the boat that looks very suspicious.
Oh,
because
hell no.
it's the only person that's wearing full covered. And look at his face and look at the choice of attire. Michael Jackson, he was known for being allergic to the sun because of his skin. He's always wearing like long sleeves or stuff to cover himself. People are saying this is Michael Jackson after another plastic surgery to change his identity. And he's hiding and he's still chilling with his son in public. Just
go on, MJ.
But I warn you, if you make any further inquiries, or if you say a single word to anyone about what you have seen, there will be the most dire consequences for you and your family.
don't even hide it anymore.
The season premiere of SNL with Ice Spice.
Ooh, look at us, 3 Gen Z icons.
Aren't you like 40?
No. A long time ago, I met this guy and made a deal where I get to stay 25 years old for forever.
What guy?
Tall fellow, horns, red fur, I don't know, little hoods.
Keen, that's the devil, dude.
What? I thought it was like a Times Square Elmo or something.
They don't even hide it anymore.
The season premiere of SNL with Ice Spice.
Ooh,
The scariest conspiracy theories.
Historians and researchers believe that Atlantis was a real place, a highly advanced society with impressive technology and culture. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato wrote about Atlantis in his dialogues, describing it as a powerful kingdom that existed around 9,000 years before his time. According to the legend, the city was situated on an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and was destroyed by natural disasters and catastrophes. There have been numerous archaeological discoveries and ancient texts that suggest the existence of a lost civilization with advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. Some of these artifacts date back to the same period when Atlantis was said to have flourished. There is also many geographic and geological features that could match the description of Atlantis in Plato's account. So what do you think?
The scary.
What do you think? Real or fake?
Yes, conspiracy.
I was watching the... There's also the pink version of the yellow brick road from The Wizard of Oz. But wait for the best part. The Wizard of Oz is actually playing in Barbie's theater. So maybe the two movies will be connected.
Maybe. Let me know what you think.
They tell us the truth in plain sight.
Smile I've ever seen out of Mark Zuckerberg.
So the song Shake It Off was about how I shed my skin every 1,000 years. And the song Bad Blood was about how I drink blood out of my
Queen Liz.
A toast to blood. Save some blood for Paul Rudd.
Sick fox.
The birth of the very first society begat the need for the very first secret society. A fraction of early humans were born smarter than their fellow cavemen. And if they would not listen to reason, perhaps they would listen to a higher power. And thus, the Order of the Black Robes was born.
Operating from the shadows using secret knowledge, we and our descendants kept watch over all of human history.
Not to point out the obvious, but fire, plague, acts. If you're watching over us, why didn't you stop these things?
Stop them. We unleashed them.
Stop putting it in the cartoons because we all know.
Strange objects found in Jeffrey Epstein's house. Along with the infamous picture of Bill Clinton in a dress, Jeffrey Epstein had some very strange items in his $71 million mansion in New York that were found after his arrest, including a collection of over 150 artificial eyeballs that were mounted on a wall that were reportedly placed there to let his staff know that they were being watched at all times. The New York Times reported that Epstein had a chessboard with human figurine pieces. Each one was modeled after one of his servants or a member of his staff. Other items found in the house include a life-size female doll hanging from a chandelier, a pair of prosthetic breasts mounted on a wall in his bathroom, and various pictures of him with celebrities, including Woody Allen, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. As reported by the Times, he also had a picture of a photorealistic prison scene, barbed wire, prison guards, and a guard station, with himself portrayed in the middle.